Today I'll be fishing for a highly prized game fish from Southeast Asia, the Giant Snakehead. And I have less than 48 hours to catch one. The snakehead, as its name suggests, is one mean-looking fish, and it certainly comes with a mean attitude. It's an apex freshwater predator known for its aggressive behavior and explosive feeding patterns. There are even stories of it preying on smaller animals and birds. This fierce reputation has made it a highly sought-after game fish in the region, and it's even been featured in documentaries like River Monsters. But the snakehead is also known to be extremely smart and difficult to catch. And because of certain circumstances, I only have 48 hours to catch one. I have been super busy with school and I haven't fished in forever. With 1 year to graduate, there was something that constantly bothered me. What exactly do I want to do with my life? Well, I've been so busy that I couldn't even answer that question. But like most fishermen, whenever we encounter such challenges, we somehow feel that fishing will be the right way to solve it. And it just so happened to be the right season for sight casting. Sight casting is one of the most exhilarating forms of snakehead fishing. You spot the fish, make your most accurate cast, and hang on tight for the fight. But there is a specific window for sight casting, and I missed that window last year. But I'm not gonna miss it this year. That's why despite only having 2 days of fishing, I'm gonna take my chances to look for the giant snakehead. And for some fish-sensical reason, I feel that catching one would also give me some resonance to my current life dilemma. There are many places in the world where you can hunt for giant snakehead. But when you have 48 hours to catch a giant snakehead, you're gonna need someone who can help you to catch one instead. And the guy that I trust is my brother Adib.
Good bro, hey!
Let's go. Everyone, this is Adib. Adib is a full-time fishing guide. We're both of the same age and I find us very similar. It's just that I was born in Singapore and he was born in Kuala Nerang in Malaysia.
Hi.
We fished in the Borneo jungle for 9 days together and that's where I witnessed how good this guy is at fishing. Snakehead fishing is his specialty and I have full confidence in him that he could help me to catch one in 48 hours.
48 hours bro, kinda hard for me. You put a lot of pressure for me. We're gonna do sight casting bro, it's really hard. It's not like we play fly ball. The skill and everything you need to put together. It's really hard for 48 hours bro.
Well, looks like I might have made the wrong choice. After a 3-hour drive of me contemplating my decision, we reached Adib's hometown, Kuala Nerang.
I literally went in, placed my camera on the bed, went out and carried my luggage in just to get that shot. So if you have been enjoying this content so far, do remember to like, comment and subscribe.
After checking in, Adib and I went for supper. And he then updated me on the recent fishing conditions.
Right now it's quite tough I think, because the weather, everything. This is the unique about this trip for you only. We're gonna do combo trip, which is morning one we go to Pedu because sight casting morning section is better. Then evening we're gonna play at river, new place.
We then went to do some preparation for tomorrow's trip. But it was then that I realized my 48 hours had already begun and I had less than 40 hours left to catch a giant snakehead.
We heading to Tasik Pedu guys. I like Tasik Pedu because of the scenery around there is really like bring you to the remote area, something that you saw on the Jurassic Park because the lake is in the middle of surrounding by mountain.
Adib was right. It felt as if we drove onto a movie set. even though this was my second time here, the scenery was just as breathtaking. But as I looked around while setting up, I realized someone important was missing. And that's when I heard the tragic news.
So last time I came here, there was this really cute dog and her name was Janae. So Janae is a blind dog. This place just seemed to be like her little safe haven because she would run around, and although she's blind, she's really curious and will always check like who's coming. Puts a smile on our face every time we come back from fishing, but I just heard that Janae just went missing for like 3 months already. And it's just a reminder that we share spaces with other animals that are living here. As much as possible, let's try not to leave any litter behind. I'm not saying that Janae died because of the litter, but it's just not very nice to like dirty the place or leave your trash behind knowing that maybe an animal might consume it. So we love fishing. We visit places which people rarely get the chance to visit. But at the same time, we need to protect these places as well. So yeah.
This trip will be mainly sightcasting. But what exactly is sightcasting? Well, giant snakeheads are air breathers, which means that every 15 to 30 minutes, they have to rise to the surface to take a breath. This gives you an indication of where they are, allowing you to cast your lure immediately to their direction. Which is very different from blind casting.
So blind casting is like we holding a machine gun. We have 1,000 bullets. We need to cover all the ground that we see. For sight casting, if like we holding a sniper, so no need to scare the fish. No need so many bullets to hit, but one bullet that go in the perfect direction may give you a catch result.
But here's the tricky part. You have to be extremely focused. Your eyes have to be incredibly sharp. Heck, your ears have to be sharp as well to hear the snakehead rise. I had the best tackle from Shimano during this trip, but my reaction time and casting were a little rusty due to my inactivity in fishing.
Two left.
The reason why this particular period is so effective is because there's less wind. That makes it easier to spot the giant snakeheads, as the water remains extremely calm compared to when it's choppy.
I see it already. I see it already.
You see already?
Yeah.
Another reason is that it's the hot season. When the water is warmer, it holds less oxygen, which means snakeheads have to rise more frequently to breathe, making it the best time to sight fish for them. But this also means no wind, extremely hot weather, which might be better for sight casting, but for an angler, it literally means I'm getting cooked under the sun.
This type of fishing requires so much focus. This is actually quite draining physically and mentally.
The biggest challenge for me though was the waiting game. I could usually cast for an entire day, but in this case, you have to wait for the perfect moment to cast. It's probably been 3 hours and I've casted lesser than 20 times.
Yeah, I saw he go left.
I waited and waited and finally found the golden opportunity to cast.
You can see. Oh, you run.
He ran away. Oh!
That was probably the closest opportunity Pedu was willing to give us that day. With fewer fish rising and less than 30 hours to go, we knew it was time to change our game plan. To increase my chances of landing a giant snakehead, Adib brought me to another spot, this time a river that had been part of his childhood. But as always with facepalm fishing, things didn't go according to plan, and we got stuck.
Tak tayo.
what happened.
So we decided to break for lunch. And this would also be the perfect time for me to thank the sponsor of this trip, Shimano. Apart from the sick tackle that I've been using, throughout this trip I've been wearing the new Shimano EVAIR marine fishing sandals. And honestly, they have been the perfect pair of fishing sandals. The strap design makes them incredibly easy to slip on and off, the cushion insole keeps them comfortable, the built-in drainage hose ensure water can flow out the shoe if it gets wet, and the anti-slip grip gives me more confidence to stand and cast on the boat. Most importantly, the biggest selling point to me is that these sandals look pretty slick. I ended up wearing them throughout the entire trip, even when sightseeing around Penang. Pair them with a button-up shirt and cargo shorts, and you've got a look that is both presentable and surprisingly comfortable. In fact, I've been wearing them daily for about 3 months already. You can buy these sandals on Shimano Southeast Asia's official Shopee store via this link here, and we've got a special deal for all Facepalmfishing viewers. Use the promo code SHIMFP10 via the link below and enjoy 10% off when you purchase these sandals. Now let's get right back into the action. After lunch, Adib walked me through the game plan.
The situation at Pedu is good for fishing at morning only because the winds start to coming at the evening section. So we try to come up with better plan to play at the river. We here because this is our new spot for this year. Catch result quite good. Last week we caught 20 pounds around here. Have some of the fry ball. We give the Asian try for this time. Maybe he get some luck to catch here.
Fry ball fishing is when you target snakeheads that have just given birth. Snakeheads will stay close to their fry until they're big enough to survive on their own, and they are very protective during this period. So both parents will aggressively attack anything that comes too close, making them much easier to catch compared to a loner snakehead. The moment we arrive at the spot, another problem surfaced.
I spot the fry ball 1 week already, but that period the water still clear. Maybe this is happened because of the rain, so the water turned to be like muddy a bit, but we give a try.
Because of the muddy water, the fry balls were nowhere to be found, so we changed our plans and started blind casting along the river. But without the right gear for this kind of heavy terrain, I wasn't feeling very optimistic.
Now this is beautiful.
As the sun began to set, I had already accepted the fact that I probably wasn't going to catch a giant snakehead that day. With just 1 day left on this trip, I decided to try something Adib shared with me during my last visit. Whenever his guests struggled to catch a snakehead, he'd always tell them to bathe in the waters of Tasik Pedu. He believes that it'll form a spiritual connection between you and the lake, and it'll bring you the luck to catch a giant snakehead. Since this river eventually flows into Tasik Pedu, we decided to take a dip. Spiritual reasons aside, this actually felt pretty refreshing and relaxing. Knowing how yesterday went, I knew I had less than 5 hours to sight cast for a giant snakehead. Adib picked out his favourite lure for me. And I was locked in. Sure enough, I got a lot more strikes.
Please? Please? Please?
But none of them seemed to connect. With just about 2 hours left before the wind picked up, Adib spotted a fish in the distance. And I knew this was my last chance.
Can.
Reach faster. Okay, play. Try to relax a bit. This is yours already. Not to lose a bit, right?
Go man! Let's go!
That's what we call the surface one. You see it, right?
Yes, I saw it, the subsurface.
Yeah. And really attacking the lure. That's what I think.
Straight away, bro. You're
Yeah.
right. Okay, guys. This is what we came to Tasik Pedu for. Sight casting for this beautiful fish. So why are they called the snakehead? It's because of this snake-like head, and they have extremely sharp teeth. I don't want to put my fingers too close to it. And if you see the head, it's very hard, which shows you how much muscle and strike force they have in their bite. Now, this is a beautiful game fish here, and it's like a protected fish here because it brings the locals like Adib money, because people from all over the world will fly here just to catch this fish. So we're gonna put it back. Right now, Adib, thank you so much, and thank you so much for biting my lure. It was painful trying to catch this guy. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.
Successfully landing a giant snakehead on sight casting was incredible. But more importantly, this trip reminded me why I love fishing. Before this trip, I was feeling quite stressed about graduating. But being completely immersed in fishing, taking in the beauty of this place, and simply laughing with my fishing buddy forced me to disconnect from all the worries waiting for me back in Singapore. And I think that's something we all need sometimes. A chance to step away and realize that there's still so much beauty in this world. I may not have found a solution to my problems, but I came home ready to face them. Before I end off this video, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Adib for this trip. If you'd like to experience snakehead fishing in Malaysia, you can contact Adib on WhatsApp and use the promo code Facepalm5 to enjoy 5% off on your next trip. We may have only landed one snakehead on this trip, but to be fair, I was juggling the camera and drone for about half the time, so as you can see from these other clips, the fishing here is usually much better. And also a final huge thank you to Shimano as well for sponsoring this adventure, and also for their EVAIR sandals, which kept me comfortable throughout the trip and even till today. Thank you for watching everyone, and see you next time.